Greetings, Earthlings. Thank you for tuning in to another Influxer Media podcast. We have an NCAA Women's Basketball Division I star with us, Eliza from Australia. My name is Miles. This is Alex. He keeps butting in. I can't even finish my statement. Okay, but this is Alex. Eliza, we are in the Bahamas.
I know.
How are you feeling about it?
It is surreal to be here. I've never been here before, so there's nothing really quite like it. Is this your guys' first time here?
This is our first time, yes.
Yeah, It's just the sea life is just insane. It's like an aquarium in a hotel, and I was kind of blown away by that.
Right.
But I kind of wish I had a bit more free time, if being completely honest. I kind of wish I was able to explore and see everything, but it's a bit of a business trip. Like, I get it. We're here to play basketball, but...
We're kind of in the same boat as well. Like, we had the opportunity to come here, and we're like, we'll be there.
Yeah.
And I was surprised how close it was to Florida. For some reason, I thought it was a lot more south.
Yeah, I thought it was further out as well.
And it was like a 30-minute flight over here from Florida.
Yeah.
But
you're a student athlete, so that makes sense of why you can't just come to the Bahamas and lay out at the beach and stuff. So with you and with basketball and being a student, you're probably waking up at 5 a.m., 5:30. You're probably going to bed at like 9:30, 10. How are you able to navigate and take care of everything that you got to take care of in a day? How are you able to do that?
It's difficult. It's really a grind. It's a whole year kind of thing. It's not really, you don't really get breaks. And basketball in itself is a whole year thing. So there's not really an off season essentially. So with school, basketball, everything that you're navigating, it's difficult but manageable. You have to be really smart about time management and making sure you get ahead of things. Otherwise, things really pile up on you. But it's definitely doable, and just communicating everything and making sure you get things ahead of time. So yeah, it's doable, but it's a grind.
I feel like it prepares you for life pretty early on.
Yeah.
You mentioned it being really busy for you. Do you ever get to go back home to Australia at all?
We get half of our summer break. So we get to go home. So that was really nice. It's always really nice going home. So America and Australia, our seasons are flipped. So I just get double winter, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
But so anytime I get to come to somewhere warm like here, I'm just the sun, the warmth. But
does your family visit America at all? Or?
They've come up a few times. COVID was difficult, but they'll get to come post Christmas this year, so that'll be nice. They love it here. They're huge fans, and Dad's always reposting me on Facebook. His whole timeline is just me and all the pictures, and I'm just decline. I don't want that on my timeline, but
I have the exact same with my mom. Get out of here.
So I'll ask that, was the goal always to go to America? And I'll ask this, obviously basketball is a passion for you. How did you get into basketball? How did you end up at college in America?
So there's a thing called little dribblers at home. So you put your little kids into it to get just that ball coordination kind of down. So I did that when I was 4 or 5, and then kind of stuck with it because I was tall. People kind of want you, so they're you should come play basketball. And then I just kind of stuck with it, and then eventually became good to the point where I was just shoot, maybe I can represent my state. And so I did my first tryout and got rejected, and then that was a really big wake-up call for me. And this is under 12, so I was a little 11 or 10-year-old now, just butt hurt. But I think in that moment it really sparked something in me to no, I actually want to pursue this, because I knew that I was good enough, and I didn't think I was. So when that kind of happened, I really just took it seriously. I sacrificed a lot of things, and eventually just represented my state in under 16s, under 18s, under 20s. And then there's a Australian Institute of Sport, so AIS for short. It's a program in Australia that's located in Canberra. Okay. I don't know if it's the capital of Australia. And it's kind of a college system. So basically they offer scholarships to elite athletes in Australia across the states. Okay. And they can kind of hold maybe 10-ish to 12. And it's a really prestigious, really big thing to get accepted. And so I got offered that when I was 16. And that was a really big decision for me because I had to leave states. I had to start a whole new thing. So basically you go to school and then you train like after school and you do weightlifting and you become a college athlete before going to college.
Right.
So I basically did like a tryout, which was kind of unusual for it. There was like 9 girls, only 6 got picked. I think, I don't know if that's the right number, but I ended up getting picked and I accepted it. So I moved out of home when I was 16 and I pursued that. Wow. And that was like really taught me to be independent, straight away.
You're an adult, like at 16, yeah.
It was like managing everything myself, really like taught me to grow up really quickly. Yeah. But then it helped me make the national team. And then through the national team, I got like worldwide exposure. And then like Gonzaga and other schools would reach out to me through like social media or some form of that.
Nice.
And so my pathway kind of just led that way. And then now I'm here. So back home, you either have like 2 options. You either go pro already straight out of school or you come to America. And I was like, well, 4 years in a different country, free education, like new experiences. I was like, I got to try that. So yeah, I didn't want to play against like grown women just yet. I was just like, I want to play against my own age just for a little bit longer.
So speaking of the national team, we're big Patty Mills fans.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Spurs
so
fans,
we're Spurs fans, and so
Patty.
he was a huge.
I actually have a funny story about Patty Mills.
Go in.
Let's see it,
Let's go.
So he went to the AIS. He was an athlete there when he was younger, and he kind of grew up through that. And so he would come back from time to time. And so I was an athlete there, still in the program, and Patty Mills had come and was shooting, and we had like the men's and women's team just like our mouths drooling, like looking at him just in awe. And there were like maybe like 20 people around him. Just like they didn't really seem like coaches, they just seemed like regular people.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, like people from Canberra have come out just to watch him play, and he was doing like one-on-one. And everyone, all like the teams were like, I wish I could go up there and play him. And I'm like, shoot, I'll do it. And they're like, no, don't do it. And like he was playing this like girl, I found out to be his girlfriend later. But I was like, this girl that's like, doesn't even look like she knows what basketball is playing him. Like it's still in a big thing. And so like, oh my God, I don't know what came over me.
How old are you at this point?
I was like 16, 17.
Okay.
And so I walk up to the baseline where he's at and I talk to his coach. And I'm just like, oh, how's it going? And then I was like, do you mind if I jump in? And then I see him, I like shake his hand. I'm like, nice to meet you. And I was like, all right, I have 1 possession. I cannot let Patty Mills score in me. I can hold this to my grave. This will be the biggest moment of my life. And so I get out there and I was like, all right, he's freaking quick. I was like, just gaff it up. I play defense. I only get 1 chance. He like goes to cross me over, does a little step back jumper, misses it.
Let's go.
I was like, I'm good for life now. I'm like, I could die happy. But yeah, so that's like my one thing I can hold to is that I didn't get scored on by Patty Mills.
That's a story to the grave right there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, speaking of Patty Mills, he's known for his energy and, you know, just a great teammate and everything. Like, what would be like, what's your game, I guess? How can you describe yourself as a basketball player?
It's kind of interesting. Back home, I was never really a shooter. I didn't really get the opportunity to shoot it. Like I would have 1 or few in like a season. But then coming here, it kind of was my identity straight away, which was nice because I kind of always wanted to be. So I would say like my pick and pop is like something that I've been kind of known for, being like a forward that can shoot, which I like having that versatility in my game.
Harder to defend,
it kind of spreads out the floor because people can't suck in, especially since Vonnie is a driver, so they can't like help off of me as much.
Nice.
And then just like finishing around the rim, I love to be like hustle player time to time. So yeah, just overall. But Patty Mills, like what he's done for outside of basketball, amazing. Like he's started so many charities, he raises awareness to so many things. He's just an amazing player and person and advocate for Australia. Like he's like the face and I love it. I'm just like, he is amazing man, beautiful man.
I can just hear it in your voice, the passion for basketball. You're competitive. You've been doing it like pretty much competitively as a professional since you were 16 years old.
Yeah.
You talking trash out there? You talking trash out there?
I can't. I'm just a sweet, gentle giant. I kind of hate it. I kind of wish I would. Yeah, but it's just not built in me.
So even if someone's going at you, talking to you, you can't.
I just kind of laugh it off. I just kind of laugh in their face. Like sometimes people laugh at me, I just like literally laugh back. I'm just like, they'll say something and I'll be like, like, I'm just like, you're a joke. Like it's just,
I
know you guys will give me some pointers on what to say, but I just.
You
guys are smack talkers.
Off camera, I'll let you know. I'll let you know some things you could say.
My athletic ability ended early, but I was a savage for sure. I'd get in like girls' faces and stuff.
He has no filter with his. Anyone can get it with him. Okay, I got one more question for you. In the idea, the fact that 16 years old, you're already in the thick of things with basketball. You already have your mind set up of what you want to do. What is pushing you, motivating you, driving you? What's that thing that, on a Wednesday when you have to get up at 5 and be at the gym by like 5:45 or something like that, and then what's that thing that's keeping you going?
I just think of like my younger self and what I've put into it. Like from a young age, I sacrificed like going out or doing certain things, and I put in so much work and had so many injuries that for me to come back from that, I'm like, I owe it to myself.
Right.
Like I've been through so much. I like owe it to myself to see the payoff. There have been moments in my like college years where I'm like, shit, I just want to quit. Like so badly. Like I've been like crying, blowing my eyes out. And my mom's been like, just come home. And I'm like, no, I owe it to myself. And this year I've finally seen like the payoff and I'm finally getting there. And it's just the most amazing feeling because I know that I could do it. So yeah, you just really have to stick with the grind, and I'm also a person that can't quit.
Nice.
For better or worse. So I think I'm pretty headstrong, and I just want it for myself the most. Yeah.
That's beautiful, Eliza. Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
You were awesome, and wish you all the best.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me on here. This was really fun.
There
I really enjoyed this.
Go.
Maybe I have to
Nice.
keep doing
Love to
podcasts.
hear
There you
This is
go.
so fun.
Yeah. Nice.